Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Titan Chain snow tire chains with V-bar links on our 2021 Ford Ranger. Now this guy is going to be the top of the line if you want a lot of hard duty traction as we go through a lot of snow and ice. Definitely going to be one of the more aggressive styles you can actually get on here, especially with those V-bars doing a good job of biting into here. The installation isn't going to be too much different from some of our chains as well, so nothing can be crazy there, and it is going to be a manganese nickel alloy, going to be resistant to a lot of that harsh weather. Well, let's go ahead, take a closer look, and start looking at some features. The V-bars themselves, we mentioned, are one of our more aggressive bends here. You can see it does have a twisted chain link on the underside, so you already kind of get those curved little contact points, but at the top we are getting those V-bars that have been welded on there. So those guys are going to be very, very aggressive against snow and ice, but keep in mind, that means that they are going to be aggressive to our pavement as well. Definitely don't want to have these guys chowing through our driveways all the time. Going to be very, very aggressive there. However, that is giving us a lot of purchase, as we mentioned, in those heavy duty elements. You will notice too, we do have a ladder style on here today. That's going to give us a lot of start and stop, as we have a lot of space in here that's not actually covered by our chain. So we're really going to feel that as we go down the road, especially with those V-bars being on top. You're really going to feel a lot of clunk. However, again, we'll just start churning through anything that we need to. The sails themselves, as we mentioned, are a manganese nickel alloy. They're going to hold up well in that winter. We've already gone ahead and thrown on some tensioners as well. These are sold separately. We'll have to pick them up, but we'll break those down of why we actually have them. So as I mentioned before, I think these guys are going to be for our heavy duty applications. Let's go ahead and start taking a look at that installation. So for our installation, our first step, we want to make sure we're nice and spread out. Make sure there's no kinks in our chain, especially these V-bars start kind of clogging themselves up a little bit. So we want to make sure we aren't having any binds. Now we've already gone ahead and checked this. And the big thing is check our orientation of how we want to have these. As you can see today, on the inside here, where our kind of hooks actually bend over. We want to make sure these hooks are going to be on the outside, not making contact with our wheel. We have it laid out in this position because I'm just going to pick up on this far side and drape it over our wheel. So that's why we have this pointing on the upside. We want to make sure our cam is on our bottom position here. That way you can get that orientation for our install. Well, I'm going to go ahead and grab the middle of this guy, start getting them draped over the top here. Kind of finding that middle section. I like to kind of wing out my arms too. You can see I'm kind of pulling that up. That way we're not making any contact with our rim. Makes it nice and easy so that we're not having any damage there. And just kind of pulling it across, making sure we're even, not hitting our wheel rim. And just going to start making sure we are even across the entirety of our wheel. You'll notice that we have this on our rear wheels here, and that's because most of these guys are going to be rear wheel driven. However, some of these models do have an all-wheel capability, so make sure that we are putting these on the right wheels. We can do that by checking our owner's manual. Now that we have this nicely set across and even, let's jump to the back and make our further connections. Here we are in the back of our tire. We want to make sure that we are not overhanging on any a little bit on the back here. Definitely make sure our brake lines and everything are well enough out of the way. We're not going to be making contact. That brings us to our connection in the back though. We're going to go ahead and grab our hook like such and hook it in to the farthest point that we can. Looks like today I'm going to get right up to that last link. Oh, if I can put it in correctly. You can see doing a good job of holding it in there. And with these guys too, I would just go ahead and maybe snip the rest off. However, if you're not sure if you're going to keep using on this wheel for forever, we could just zip tie these up. But we definitely want to make sure we're getting this excess under control. That brings us to our front connection. I'm going to go ahead, take that extra chain like so. Take our lever cam. Have it ready. I'm going to go ahead and make this as tight as I can here, guys. Throw that guy through. And just start pulling back on this cam and sitting itself in that chain. Like so. So now that we have this set, I want to go ahead and add on some rubber tensioners. Now this is going to do a good job of making sure our alignment is going to be shifting, making sure we have a nice tension across the entirety of the wheel. Now when I start this, I want to make sure our hooks are pointed away from our wheel. We don't want those puncturing our wheel well, as you can see, doing any kind of damage, or our sidewall I should say. Don't want any tearing or puncturing. And when I do this too, I kind of want to go just a little bit of a star pattern. Get that hooked inside there, like so. And taking a look and go up to here, down to here, up again, and down again. You can see already getting a little harder for me to make those connections, doing a good job, pulling everything right to the center, and that way we aren't having any shifting as we go. Well, you saw how to do it on one side, now we just need to do it on the other, and we're good to go. Well, as you saw, that installation, definitely nothing too crazy. I definitely recommend getting a handle on it, putting them on and off in the garage a few times before we really need it, especially when we're stuck in those heavy elements. It's nice to know exactly how our chains actually work. Well, I think the V-bar is amazing for what we want. Again, it's very, very aggressive. Be careful around those driveways, but if we need it, it's definitely gonna come in handy. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the Titan Chain Snow Tire Chains ladder style with V-bar links on our 2021 Ford Ranger. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.